Hello and welcome to The Simple Dollar. My name is Nicole, and today we're here to talk about how to handle debt and collections and pay less than you owe. If you're not familiar with The Simple Dollar, be sure to check us out. There are tons of resources here on the YouTube channel as well as on the blog, where there are thousands of articles that will help you on your financial journey regardless of where you are. But I'm sure the reason why you clicked on this particular video is because you want to learn more about how to handle debt that is in collections. Unfortunately, debt collectors can make an already stressful situation even worse if given the opportunity. Debt collectors can be unmerciless, they can be relentless, they can be downright stalkerish at times. And if you've been through that experience, it's definitely not a pleasant one. But you have rights and you have options. You do not have to stand for that type of behavior. So in today's video, we're talking more about how to handle debt collectors and maybe to even pay less than you actually owe. So here's what typically happens when you find out that you have a debt in collections. You'll receive a letter from the company on letterhead with their information, the company's name, the address, and perhaps some contact information like a phone number or email address. In all likelihood, the company that contacts you is not the same company that you originally borrowed the money from. One of the first things that you'll want to do is actually verify that this company is now in possession of the debt that you are responsible for. You'll want to verify that the information that they have and are sending out to you in this letter is indeed accurate. So here are a few steps to take to find out if that's the case. Step 1, don't stress. I know that's easier said than done, but don't panic. Getting a letter in the mail from a company that you don't know can be scary, it can be intimidating, but don't give in to the feeling of panic. Getting stressed out definitely will not make the situation any better. It'll only make things worse. Now, this doesn't mean that you forget about it, that you just put the letter in a drawer somewhere and say, I hope it goes away. Oftentimes, ignoring the letter, ignoring calls will just add fuel to the fire and just will increase their efforts to get in contact with you. So take a deep breath, pause, look at the letter, and get to it as soon as you can. Step 2 is to verify the creditor's information. There are indeed a lot of fake debt collectors out there that can contact you or send information to your house, so you'll want to verify the identity first. Sometimes it can be tough to tell the difference between what's legitimate and what is fake, and sometimes those fake statements that come in the mail can include little bits of your personal information that they've somehow collected along the way. But don't be fooled. Something as simple as a quick online search will be able to tell you whether or not this place is legitimate or not. During your online search, you'll want to see if this company has a legitimate website. Also, if you're able to verify the credibility of their business address and telephone number. Another method that's even more reliable is to check online to see if the company is listed with the Better Business Bureau. Just type the company's name and the city and state into the search box on the Better Business Bureau website, and if the company pops up, then they're legit. If not, then proceed with caution. Step 3 is to check your credit report. It is recommended that you go and check out your credit report at least a few times per year. The 3 major credit reporting companies are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Each company is required to give you 1 copy of your credit report for free each year. Just go to annualcreditreport.com to get a copy of your credit report for free. As you're looking through your credit report with a fine-tooth comb, you'll want to see if any companies are reporting collections. Be on the lookout for anything that looks suspicious or any names and numbers that don't make sense. Step 4 is to validate your debt. If you're looking through your credit report and you don't see any corresponding inquiries or collections, then you might need to dig a little bit deeper. It could simply be a mix-up or a debt that doesn't belong to you. It's also important to note that it can be difficult to know whether or not the numbers are accurate because sometimes when the debt is sold over to another company, interest charges are added, fees are added, and it might look very different from the original amount of money that you owed. Step 5 is to call the credit agency. Once you're comfortable with the numbers and you have an idea whether or not this debt is actually yours, now it's time to contact the agency directly. Call the number that was included on the letter that you received in the mail and give them the account number that is listed. Then you'll want to start asking some questions. Find out who they purchased the debt from and what the original balance was. Even better, if you contact them within the first 5 days of receiving the letter, request the information in writing. When requesting information in writing, make sure that it includes the name of the original creditor, the original account number, and the exact amount of money owed. If you don't believe that the debt belongs to you, you can dispute this by sending a letter to the company within a 30-day time frame. You'll want to send this letter to them via return receipt requested and keep a copy of all correspondence for your records. Now let's talk about a few steps to take if you do in fact verify that this is your debt and you have to pay it back. The reason why debt collectors hound you so much is because they get paid when you pay them. But don't give in too easily. You have rights and they know this, which is why they sometimes resort to scare tactics to get you to pay. Unfortunately, they're probably hoping that you forget all common sense and just pay them to get rid of the hassle. However, you actually have the upper hand in the situation. You have come to the table equipped, you have done your research, you know how much you owe, now it's time to negotiate. Next up, you'll want to use the balance as a starting point. In most cases, the collection agency purchased your debt from the original creditor at a discounted rate. In fact, they probably purchased the debt for pennies on the dollar, meaning if the original debt was $3,000, they probably only paid a fraction for it. So the more money you pay, the more profit they make. I know it might seem scary to do, but start off by offering them 10 to 15% of what you actually owe. For example, if you owe $3,000, you'll want to offer them somewhere between $300 and $450. After you've negotiated and made your offer, make sure that you stand firm. Ultimately, you may end up paying back 30 to 40% of the original balance, but that is a far cry from the original amount owed. This is one of the main reasons why you'll want to do your research and arm yourself with facts before you even approach the company. Let me say this one more time for the record. You have rights, so don't let them push you around. If the company is also standing firm, let them know that you are not backing down and you'll call back in a few days to discuss it further. To keep from losing out on money, more than likely they will fold and accept your original offer. Keep in mind that you might be responsible for paying taxes on the amount of money that was forgiven, canceled, or discharged. This is definitely an area that you will want to discuss with your tax professional or accountant. Once you've reached a final payment agreement on how much your settlement amount will be, you should send them funds in the form of either a money order or a cashier's check. Never give them access to your bank account directly or send them a personal check. And of course, in all of your dealings with this collection agency, make sure you keep a paper trail and keep track of any documents that you've sent or anything they've sent to you. Physical responses through the actual mail, through snail mail, is your best bet. There may come a time when yet another collection agency reaches out to you and says that you owe them this money. And if you have your paper trail and your documents in order, you can stand up and dispute that right away. And finally, don't be afraid to report this company if they have verbally abused you or harassed you or treated you poorly. I hope that this video has provided some clarification on what to do if you have debts and a collection agency reaches out to you. Don't forget to check the description box on your way out for any other helpful links that we can provide you. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Simple Dollar channel. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll catch you in the next video.